United States of Smash! Here's something new we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. Some predictions for My Hero Academia. The current arc, Class 1A versus Class 1B. That's the letter B. Now, the first fight is already over. I was kind of late on that. So I'm just going to start off with the second one. But for the first fight, Sue was in it. So we already knew who was going to win that one. Moving on, we've got Tokoyami, Toru, Momo, and Aoyama. Quite a strange combination, actually. Versus the Big Fists herself, Kendo, and who's that with her over there? It's a mushroom, black hole, and a comic strip. So, yeah, the only person we really know anyone about in Class 1B for this fight is Kendo. So right now all we can really do is speculate on what kind of power or strength they have. First, let's talk about Mr. Black Hole, and yes, I know they have names, but I like my name is better. The only thing we know about his quirk is that it is called black, and his skin is also pitch black. So let's conceptualize at what he can potentially do. I think, much like how Toro has the ability to refract light, maybe this guy can absorb light and potentially have similar abilities to Toru. He's probably going to be good at stealth. I mean, why not? Sue can turn herself invisible too, so why not? However, if he can absorb light, then this is going to be a big problem for Toru's light refraction and Aoyama's laser, because that's practically condensed light. This essentially means that they will need to take him out first to have a chance at all, really, or they'll just be outnumbered. But if it were to be like a one-on-one fight with this guy, I think it should be with Tokoyami's Dark Shadow. That'd just be the most epic thing, dark versus dark. And also Momo does have flashbangs, so who knows what'll happen. Next I want to talk about Mushroom Girl. Let's see here. Her quirk is called Mushroom. She's 5 feet tall. Oh, she likes edible mushrooms. Wait, does that make her a cannibal? Okay, let's take this a little bit seriously now. Honestly, we know basically nothing other than that she kind of looks like a witch with her mushroom costume hat on. But the only thing I could come up with is something video game related. Hear me out on this. So many times, let's take Monster Hunter World, for example. But this is really any RPG or MMO, really anything. You can take mushrooms and craft them into different kinds of ammo, such as poison, paralysis, sleep, explosive, dragon. I don't think that would be very useful in this situation, but who knows? And relating to that to Pokemon, there are different mushrooms, mushroom moves, that can cause ailments like Spore, Poison Powder, Rage Powder. So maybe she can emit different kinds of spores that can do similar things like paralyzing her opponents or putting them to sleep. Or get really dark with it, like poisoning or draining the life out of them. Another thing is that it could also be like Sato's Sugar Rush, where she gets a power boost or something by eating mushrooms. But there's also Chinese traditional medicine that uses mushrooms, so maybe she can heal people to a certain extent. But if she can do something like what Usopp can do in One Piece with the pop greens and just create plants or tiny mushroom men that follow her orders, the possibilities are really endless with this. But man, when I sat down to brainstorm for ideas for this, I did not think there was going to be a lot with her quirk. But man, there is a lot of potential, and I hope Horikoshi expands upon this mushroom quirk in the next couple chapters. Next up, we have Manga Man, and I really struggled with this one because this is his quirk. It's not a natural part of him, his head speech bubble thing. It's not a mutation like Soji has, or he doesn't just have a bird head like Tokoyami. That's just not part of his quirk. But his head is his quirk, and I don't really know what to do with that. But how did he get into UA? That's the question that I'd like to ask a lot of people. But he wasn't admitted through recommendations because that's Momo, Todoroki, and Juzu, or Jozu, however you want to pronounce his name. So what my big guess is, I have two ideas. Since his head is paper, it's paper thin, it could be very sharp. So it could be like a stabby weapon, his head. But it's not going to be like flimsy like paper to have the same properties as a head, solid as a head, although that probably still hurt to stab someone with your own head. But whatever. Or maybe he can manipulate it depending on his emotions, because like it could be a square box or a circle text box. I don't really know. But most likely, the one I find more likely at least, is that he's just a really good fighter. Now it's easy to think about it like Aizawa and Shinso. Their quirks give them no physical advantage like Midori or Bakugo. They just have their own fighting styles, and that's basically the reason Shinso failed the practical exam to become enrolled in the hero course from the start. So maybe manga guy knows karate or something, can chop people. I mean, that's kind of Kendo's thing, but he doesn't even look ripped like Sato or Shoji does. He's just like a normal guy, thin like me. But he should be good at stealth because he's, I guess, technically mute and can communicate to people without talking. That's all I have for this guy. Let me know what you think about his quirk, because I've got no other ideas. Last for Class 1B is Kendo, and the only person we really know anything about. Her and Tetsu took out Mustard at the training camp. I ship it. She interned with Momo at Uwabami's place, but nothing really happened there. She's really modest, like at the sports festival. Her team could have moved on, but since she was frozen, her team was frozen in place by Todoroki the entire time, she didn't really feel like they deserved to move on. She's the class rep in Class 1B, and her best quality, she's able to make me smile every time she knocks out this guy. With her quirk, her hands are extremely strong, and her special moves involve creating wind turbulence with her giant hands. I can't wait to see that again. That was really awesome. And she can also just like pick people up and just run around with them without really feeling fatigue. Like, she has very athletic and probably super strong arms, just doesn't really show muscles. Kind of like Luffy, it doesn't show his muscles and his arm is just wiggly all over the place. Oh, and fun fact, she came in 5th in the practical exam of enrollment. Least amount of villain points of the top 10 people besides Deku at 25 points, and 3rd most rescue points besides Deku and Ochako at 40 points. Yeah, it was 40. This became more of just a character discussion rather than a prediction video, so I shall make my prediction now. I think anything can happen because Kirishima just got a huge power boost during the overhaul arc and had diddly squat happen to him during his battle. So maybe Momo and Tokoyami will just be taken out at the beginning, who knows. But it's hard to say that Class 1A won't win every fight because they've got like major players in really every single battle. Like the first one had Sue in it and Kirishima, but he did nothing. This one has Momo and Tokoyami, the next is Todoroki and Ida, 4th is Bakugo, and the last one is Midoriya and Ochako. Momo has really been developing her self-confidence because her quirk is, let's be honest, really overpowered, and her main weakness is her self-confidence. She really shined in the provisional license exam with that whole thing there. So I definitely believe Momo is going to come up with a good plan that will ensure the victory. The only problem is that we don't know what class B's quirks are, so there's definitely going to be some trouble, I think, for Toru and Aoyama if Mr. Black Hole Guy can actually absorb light. Yes, this was a random drawing, but Horikoshi still teamed certain people up for a reason, so that's just my thoughts on that. Aoyama probably gets taken out by mushroom spores first thing, like Hiroshima did, and I think it'd be funny if the whole time Toru and the black hole guy were just going in circles, sneaking around, trying to find each other the entire time. Because if they're like, if it's under moonlight or they're in a forest, that guy's basically invisible too. And then it'd be cool if Tokiyami fought Kendo and mimicked her kind of giant hands, because I'm pretty sure Dark Shadow can morph into any shape it wants, really. But overall, there doesn't seem to be any direct weakness to Tokoyami or Momo. For Tokoyami, I don't think anyone can really emit light. I'm gonna just go ahead and say Class 1A wins for this one, though I'm sure it's not gonna be that easy for each fight. Whew, that was a lot more to go through than I thought, and I'm sure there's a lot more to talk about too, like Class 1A's ultimate finisher moves, but we will just have to wait and find out what happens with that. But tune in next time when we get to talk about Tetsu, the adorable pony exchange student. Seriously, her quirk is called Horn Cannon. And one of my personal favorite characters who needs way more screen time, Shoji. Hopefully each battle is at least 2 full chapters and not like the Trial of Battles where it was Deku versus Bakugo the whole time, then 5 seconds for literally every other battle. But let me know your predictions and I will see you next time. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.